These my dollars make it hurt.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. What's going on? Oh, okay. What's going on, Craven? I see you. Let me see. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to one and only big time show that is being seen and heard live everywhere. Craven, you. Okay. Y'all forgive me, but I need to do something real quick. Hey, everybody. It's been a minute. I've been incredibly busy this week. I haven't been with you guys at all. Some of y'all probably thought I had retired. I ain't retired. I'm here. Craven, I'm gonna assume that you sent this to. Let me check everything out first before I say anything. I don't know where you DM me, Craven. Where did you do that at? Did you do it on the Big Time Show, or did you do it somewhere else? Ladies and gentlemen, this show is not going to be long today because I'm not in a very good mood. Ain't no sense in me lying about it. I'm not in a good mood at all. Let me see where you at. Oh, okay. I think I see it. Oh, okay. I see you, Craven. Yeah, I see you. You good. If I ain't too irritated, you come on. You good. You good. You have a standing invitation anytime, Craven. And I'm going to speak to everybody in a second, but I saw one of my sisters on here, one of my content creator sisters who probably is going to join us momentarily, hopefully. If not, if I ain't too irritated, she will come on at another time. But welcome to the show, everybody. Listen, I hope you guys come in and share. As always, I hope that you hit that like button as you come in. I hope you guys will share the content as always. Hope you guys will use the means if you want to contribute to the podcast. You know you can. By simply, if you're on Facebook, you can use those stars. And of course, if you're on YouTube, you can use the super chat button as well. If you want to use the Cash App, I think I got it on the screen. Yeah, there it is. $, the Big Time Show. You can do it right there. I'm very irritated, y'all. A lot of the reason why you haven't seen me in a while is because I've been incredibly busy with my son and his football team, who has progressed. Well, they did progress to the playoffs, and they won their semifinal game to make it to the championship game. And the championship game was this morning, in which we lost. As if you've been hanging with me for a minute, you know that I am the defensive coordinator for my son's flag football team, and we lost. And I'm irritated about that. It hurts when you make it all the way to the championship game and then you lose. It hurts, and somebody gonna be saying, "Man, you said your son? Didn't I see that your son is only about 10 years old?" Man, I don't care if he was 2 years old. Losing hurts me. I losing and me, we don't get along too well together. We never have. I don't consider myself a loser. I don't have that mentality. So when I do lose, it's like foreign language is like a shock. It's like, it hurts. Even at, 10-year-olds. How much did I give up? We lost today on big plays. Of course, my son plays flag football. We lost on 2 missed tackles that turned into the house. One person got by 2 guys who had their hands on them. That made it 14-0 on that. Then another one was I guess you could say I lost 20, to be honest with you. 20. I gave up 20. And that, you just, when things, you think you got things, all the things that, it's kind of like real football, things you've been solid on. And then for some reason on the day, it just wasn't working. So that's the bottom line. But my guys, man, was solid all year. As I said before, they had to win about 4 straight games to even make the play. Well, they needed to win 4 to make it to the championship game. So they were on a 4-game winning streak. They were hot. My son, I thought today, my son caught a interception that would have, I thought that was going to turn everything around, and it did. It energized the team, but we just couldn't get it going. So we lost in the championship game today. Had a great year. It was a privilege to coach these kids, who are in the 3rd and the 4th grade. It took my mind back when I first started playing, even though it's flag football. It's the same principles, even in there, you got to strategize, you got to have team bonding. Everybody got to do their jobs. Believe me, I'm for the tie all this together. Y'all know that. So y'all see where I'm going already. It's just, and when you put the time in, like I have, with these kids, we all hurt together. So the same way some of you guys have seen my post how I brag on my son, I'll do the same thing even in a loss. So as I told my son, we get stronger because of this. God have a strange way sometimes of how you elevate. Sometimes losing puts in a seed of hunger in you that will drive you. That's that's kind of what Michael Jordan said, to be honest with you, that, after losing all those years before you finally start winning, he didn't, that when he lost, and it just drove him cuckoo to the madman that we all knew Michael Jordan was. So I told my son, okay, where we go from here? How hard you gonna work next year to make sure that don't happen? Kid Cowboy, I see you, sir. My son did not throw any picks today. Matter of fact, he rarely does. I think he finished the year with, I think we kept count. I think he threw 18 touchdown passes, and I think he only had 3 picks for the year. Oh man, I don't know. You know, yeah, with Kid Cowboy, you never could tell. I just try to keep my cool. You know, I leave him alone. Yeah, I ain't gotta say nothing, kid. You gotta say nothing to him. And kid. It's one thing about it. See, the man with the mic has the power. Right now, I got the mic. He has the chat, which means that I can acknowledge him or not. But I'll do it for the purposes just to show y'all how professional I am. He says, "How did we lose then?" They were better. They beat us. That's how we lost. They had two big plays. We missed a couple tackles, and those missed tackles turned into big plays, huge plays. Well, two of them went to the house, so that tells you how big it is. So, you know, we live and learn from that. We make sure that if I coach next year, we make sure that we work on grabbing flags, drills more. You know, that's what you do. You miss tackles, you practice tackling to get it done. But my son would not be playing flag next year. He'll be go ahead and you'll see really what he's working with next year with the pad. So it happens. It happens. Which leads now to why y'all are here. Hope you guys will share. And everybody know I'm on. Which leads, of course, to now. You know, I'm not gonna do what all my brothers do. I'm not. I'm not going. That's why I say the show may be a little short today. Not because I'm irritated by losing, the championship game today with my son. I'm irritated because I really could have put on last week's show for this week's show because it's really the same show. See, I'm not gonna get into a whole bunch of X's and O's, y'all. Show y'all how we can win, and if we focus in on this matchup, and if we attack short, if we try to pass long, if we run, the double A gap blitz more, if we line up in what he ran against San Francisco with 6 men up top and 2 linebackers and stuff like that. I ain't about to get into that. I'm not. Because just before I came on, I saw something today, and I'm saying, like, why am I so hyped or trying to get hyped when it seems to me Cowboys are trying to lose? Y'all look. I love all y'all. I appreciate everybody that hangs with me and comes on the show. And, anytime you got anybody want to hear a little bit of what you have to say, then, at least you can do is be appreciative to it. So I appreciate all of you guys, over the years that have come and hung with me and all that type of stuff. I appreciate that. I thank you. And usually I would be, giving you some X's and O's, but the Cowboys, man, look. When I saw what I saw, and just in case you don't know, let me go and tell you now. So Ezekiel Elliott has been deactivated. You know that Bland is not playing. Parsons is not playing. Now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, now everybody talking about Trayvon Diggs has a tear in his calf. You understand? When you have a tear in your calf, you know good and well you ain't playing Sunday. So I'm looking at the picture and I'm saying, like, do y'all sure y'all want to play football? I mean, I'm almost to the point of saying, like, why are we even getting on the airplane? Why? I mean, I don't know who playing. I'm serious, y'all. I don't know who playing tomorrow. I don't know. They haven't ruled out Diggs, but common sense tell you Diggs not going to play with a tear in his calf. Bland, I've been telling you guys ever since Bland got hurt and had the surgery on his foot. I told you guys it's gonna be kind of tricky with a foot injury because you really can't predict how the foot is gonna respond, even after having it surgically repaired. It does not mean that he's fixed. Feet are. I mean, you talking about something that gets immediately swollen quickly after workouts, especially since you haven't really tested it a lot. And even though Bland is practiced, I guarantee you if it was a playoff game or something like that, he'll be playing. I mean, he done practiced the last two weeks. He's done it. Now, what we don't know is, nobody ain't gonna tell us, how much swelling is in that foot, or has there been a setback? They ain't gonna tell us all that. They just said he's not playing. I'm saying that, if I was to guess, that we got issues, little small issues with his foot, and obviously they just don't feel comfortable putting him out there. Michael Parsons, of course, mostly everybody thought he should be back by now, but he ain't playing. You got Diggs now with a tear in his calf. I mean, you start talking about tears in your calf, guess what? They tear even more. They keep tearing until you get it fixed. So, I mean, we're talking about probably a complete ticking time bomb when it comes to Diggs. I mean, my only question is, what calf is it? I'm wondering, is it the leg where he had his ACL surgery? Because I know about this personally, because I had my ACL torn. When you start rehabbing and trying to get back, it is no question that at the beginning of your rehab, your whole leg is smaller than your leg that you did not have surgery on. It's no question. And so it's kind of like a seesaw. One leg is way up here and then the bottom leg is down here because you got to build it back up. Oh, you lost muscle, deterioration, all that stuff. You have to, strengthen the muscles around the ligament to help protect it and all that type of stuff. So you behind the 8-ball. And during the course of time, your leg draws strength from somewhere where it had, but while it's drawing strength, it overcompensates. It overcompensates for the leg that's injured. So it works harder. So it's just me. I don't know what leg it is. I didn't peep it out. But I'm wondering, in his rehab, was he strengthening his lower leg? You know what I'm saying? Usually when a calf pops, a lot of people sometimes think that the Achilles tendon has something, slightly, something like, y'all ever seen Achilles tendon, collapse where it rolls up in the back of your calf? I mean, it's like a rubber band that is popped. So when you have an overcompensation of of other parts of the body from an ACL, you're asking for trouble. And certainly, I don't know when all this happened. I don't know if it happened in practice. I don't think it happened in the game. But the bottom line is, I mean, he's not. If he plays tomorrow, I'll be saying why. I mean, for real. So I don't know who my cornerbacks are tomorrow. Then when you see Ezekiel Elliott, well, a lot of you want Ezekiel Elliott to sit down anyway. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you say, okay, our two best running backs probably would be Dalvin Cook and Rico for sure. But after looking at things, man, as much as y'all done heard me talk about being physical and having an attitude, some moxie, let's just be really truthful about it. And let's not look at necessarily the yards, even though the yards are decent when you look at it for the time he got it. But one thing about Ezekiel Elliott that is definitely true is that he brings force if you talking about physicality, he is that. He is physical. Now, he ain't about to break out no 40, 50-yard run, but he is physical. It is no question. And against the 49ers, he looked pretty good. Just didn't get the ball enough. So you take that away now. So I'm trying to figure out who's left. I mean, I know CD is there. You look like your linemen are there. The quarterback is there. Jay Ferguson is there. So the offense should be, pretty decent if they run the ball. But I'm like, man, good Lord. Are the Cowboys really trying to win, or are they tanking? See, it's not a coincidence that all these folks are out. I'm talking about healthy scratches and all that type of stuff. It's starting to make me wonder. So I'm having a hard time getting excited about anything for this game. I mean, what I'm gonna sit here and watch film for all day long, talking about here's the weakness and here's where we can really move, potentially challenge them. I ain't gonna do all this. I'm not doing it until they show me a real effort that they want to win. And I'm not really talking about the players, because it's not the players that say, hey, I'm sitting out. No, that's a front office move there. The whole Bland out, the whole Parsons out, all that type of stuff, and then pump everybody up like good and well they're getting ready to play. And now you just wasting time. So my only thing about the game tomorrow, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me put a pin in there. Let me speak to everybody. I didn't do that early. Greg Davis, how you doing? Craven, I did talk to you. Karan, what's up? Rose. Zeke didn't do anything, Ms. Rose. They just won't let him play. Shane, my brother, he says it may not be a proper thing to do, but I would trade Diggs in the offseason. Interesting. I think I already said some kid Cowboy. I shouldn't say nothing. Will. Yeah. Oppenheimer. Yeah, Oppenheimer. Appreciate you. Joe, what's going on? Yeah. Marcus, what's going on? What else? King Chase, how you doing? Beatrice, how you doing, sir? I think I've spoken to everybody. Joe says, when is D-Law supposed to come back? Again, you start talking about, ligament issues and stuff like that. It's just no telling. He was going to come back in the late part of the season anyway. But, if the Cowboys are down, I mean, nothing happened to Zeke. King Chase, nothing. Not hurt. It just said he's not going. Let me pull that up. Let me see that. I'll let you guys read it. I said the news came out maybe about 20 minutes or so before I came on. Let's see if I can get it here. Well, yeah. Y'all forgive me, but I should have just had it for you. Let me read it to you if I have it. I'm going to read, and it came from Ed Water, me. So, that's legit. You get it from there. Oh, it says disciplinary reasons. I mean, he crying again. See what I'm saying? I'm gonna read the story to you. This slow me down, so it's already here. Okay, now it comes out. They just say he missed the game. Now I see why. I'm gonna read this. This comes from the Score. This comes from the Score publication. It says Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott isn't traveling with the team for his road matchup against the Atlanta Falcons due to disciplinary reasons. It'll be the first time in Elliott's career that he's a healthy scratch in a non-season finale game. Archer adds, with Elliott out, the Cowboys will rely on Rico Dowdle and Dalvin Cook, who they elevated from the practice squad Saturday. Elliott reunited with Dallas this offseason after spending the 2023 season with the New England Patriots. He logged only 48 carries for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns through 7 games, 2 starts in 2024. Elliott is also averaging just 3.1 yards per carry. 29-year-old rushed for 40 yards in week 1, but hasn't eclipsed that total in any game since. Dowdle has emerged as the Cowboys' top rushing back, totaling 246 yards on 59 attempts. Cook made his debut last week at San Francisco 49ers, though he only mustered 12 yards on 6 carries. Cowboys are off to a 3-4 disappointing start this season, and with the offense progressing significantly after leading the NFL in scoring last season, Dallas ranks 22nd with an average of 21.4 points per game. So, obviously, since it has come out now that disciplinary issues have happened, I believe that has everything to do with Zeke crying. I believe that. It's just a nightmare that just keeps on giving. I mean, this has been a year so far that we ain't never had this. I mean, every week it's something. I mean, something. So we already know that, you know, tomorrow and Monday, you know, regardless if the Cowboys win or lose, you know, this is Ezekiel Elliott, a name that carries, you know, some weight in this organization. There's gonna be some nonstop questions from the press because they want to know what he do, what he say, you know, what happened. And then I would like to know why. I would like to know who made the decision. I would like to know who made the decision on suspending him. Yeah, I think so. I don't get it. So it's just the Cowboys this year have been in the limelight more for the wrong things other than football. I mean, good God. It's just another example. So when you look at that, and I personally think that the Cowboys would do well if they ran the ball with Rico and Dalvin Cook. I think they would do pretty good, to be honest with you. But we all know Mike McCarthy does not run the ball. So let's just be honest about it. It is what it is. But Cowboys are going to have to do some answering for whatever has happened to Zeke. Whatever has happened to him. It is what it is. A lot of guys this week, since I ain't been on at all this week, really, a lot of people getting excited about the trade deadline. And I'm saying, like, why y'all getting excited, Cowboy fans? Y'all know we don't make no trades. Why? then the type of trade that's needed in order to get things really done, we ain't gonna make that. We value our draft picks. Ain't nowhere in the world we giving them no number 1 and number 2 and possibly even number 3, even though you want a generational type player. See, we don't do that. I mean, and so you can't sell me. I know some of y'all want to know how we gonna beat them. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't there. I'm sorry. I can't even do it because, I apologize, but I can't do it because I don't know who playing. I don't know who playing. I'm serious. I don't know who playing. So if Diggs don't play, who my 2 starting cornerbacks tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. No, Roy. Great question. But let's not ignore the obvious. Jerry Jones poisoned this franchise. And it may not be because of evidently things that he has said, but it's more about what he has allowed. He knows everything that's going on within his organization. At least that's what he say. And if that's the case, then he has allowed this team to get to this way. And it's getting worse. It's getting worse, y'all. It's getting worse. I can imagine the questions that's going to be for him. And then I'm also going to imagine the questions that's going to be for Trayvon Diggs. Even though Trayvon has a hey, what's up, Chris? I see. Even though he has a tear in his calf, there's gonna be somebody gonna ask him the question: if this was a playoff game, would you be playing? And if the answer to that question is yes, then we gonna have an issue. See, somebody put it out earlier about Zeke. They had said, well, he had said that he was trying to save him. And I was saying, like, no, that don't make no sense, especially now, because Cowboys need all hands on deck just to pull out one win. We need it. I'm looking at it, and I know that's not the case. He's not saving them. And as much as Jerry, loves Ezekiel Elliott, now I don't really believe Mike McCarthy loves Ezekiel Elliott, but I do believe that Jerry loves him. So my question is, okay, y'all didn't let him get on the airplane and come to Atlanta. Y'all saying he needs to be off the team for this week. Okay, then my obvious question is, okay, who did it? Who was the person that said, no, man, you can't suit up for us this week. You need to just stay right here in Dallas while we gonna get on this plane and we go to Atlanta and try to win a ball game. We don't need you. That's what I'm wondering. Was it Jerry? Was it Mike? It's one of the two. You're literally watching a team that is showing signs of quitting without saying it, because they are doing absolutely nothing to try to improve the team as expected. They're even in their competitive way, it is raggedy. Hey, Coach Breedlove, I see. Well, he is gonna play tomorrow, Coach. Cook will be playing tomorrow as second running back, I guess. So he will be playing tomorrow. I'm starting to wonder, and on another level, I'm starting to see, for those of us that are old enough, you know, you're starting to see the reincarnation of Al Davis in his later years with the Raiders. A great owner, Hall of Fame owner, great legendary coach during this time, Hall of Fame owner as well. And later on, he was living off those Super Bowl years that he won. But and that carried on. But in the process of moving on, he was a horrible owner in the last parts of his career, and it drove the Raiders down. Bottom line, that's the truth. Now it seemed blasphemous almost to say that because you're talking about a Hall of Fame owner. Yeah, Hall of Famers make mistakes too. And I promise you, man, slowly but surely, I'm starting to see a lot of similarities between Al Davis and Jerry Jones. Now, I know Jerry Jerry will always say that Al was one of his mentors, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm starting to see it, and it's not looking good. They're not doing anything front office wise to do anything. They're not going to trade anybody. It looked like to me it's just hey, let's just play it out and watch. We're going to get another coach anyway. That's obvious. The Cowboys in week 8 have taken out the mystery of the offseason to me already. We already know that Mike McCarthy's not going to make it. Ain't going to surprise nobody. And so when I think about tomorrow's game, since that's what some of y'all come here for, I'm sorry, I ain't doing no X's and O's because you see, at some point, the next man up mentality just don't work no more. Because the next man up really is a 4th string, 5th string practice squad player. It's ain't no such thing as next man up and all that. Look, okay, fine. At some point, you just got to call it like it is. We don't have the talent. There's the truth. We don't have the talent. And so now I'm going up there to see Atlanta, who's a great, a real good offensive football team. Defense, you can get them if you want me to go there. If you watch a little film on them, you can score against Atlanta. But can you outscore Atlanta? Because they can put points on the board. And it's hard for me to come on here and just say, okay, here's what we're doing offensive line wise, and we're running a zone scheme kind of look, and I can't do all that. I can't. We're not there. You can't run the race without the horses. Y'all understand what I said there? I don't care if they got the same uniform on. If you ain't no horse, or like I said so many times before, if you're not a dog, a DAWG, WG, DAWG, a dog. If you're not a dog, it's gonna be kind of hard for you to play. And so, what are we lining up out there every week? A bunch of 3rd string receivers and down. What? A defense that's ranked last in just about every category it is. 32nd against the run, 32nd, and just the worst team forever. Right now, the quarterback is not playing well at all. Now, see, some of y'all are going to don't like what I just said there because we have been conditioned to defend that at all costs. Yeah, y'all are, not me. At some point, you got to stop saying The line didn't do this. You got to stop saying that, the scheme is wrong, all that kind of stuff. No. Sometimes you got to call it like it is. He's just not playing well. And it ain't nothing wrong with saying it. And it ain't a lie. If he's not playing well, he's just not playing well. Does he have a chance to redeem himself a little bit? Sure. Joe says, so I guess. Matter of fact, y'all just put the comments in because I'm sorry. I ain't got nothing to tell y'all about the game tomorrow. Shoot. I'm scared of it, to be honest with you. I'm scared we're going to get ran out of that place. Literally. I believe B. John Robinson is going to have a field day. We can't stop the run. Kirk Cousins, everybody have always said he's nothing more than a regular season quarterback. Well, guess what tomorrow is? Regular season. So I guess this is his time to shine. That's what y'all always say about Kirk Cousins. He's just a regular season quarterback. Well, it's his time then. It's his time. So if it's regular season, and the Falcons are loaded offensively. Loaded. So I don't know. I don't see how we can stop them. And then, the defense ain't, is not that great. They can be scored on, but we don't know how to score. I want to show y'all something that really irritated me. I'm gonna show y'all what I saw. It really did. It really irritated me. I'm gonna email this to myself, and then I want to show you guys this. If y'all coming in, listen, I appreciate everybody with me. Thank y'all for hanging. If y'all can stay for about, those that pop on, come on, hang with me for about 10 minutes or so. Just about 10 minutes or so. I want y'all at least to see this before you go. Let me get it for you. See, I'm irritated with Mike McCarthy. I really am. He's getting on my nerves. Cause he just like Jerry Jones. He talk too much. He's starting to talk too much, and you digging yourself even a bigger hole just by running your mouth. And I'm saying, like, you please just shut up, son. Please. Just stop. If I can find it. Okay, I'm just gonna read it until I get it. I want to show you. Let me read it to you. Those that are here. Let me read it to you. Unless it hit my spam. There it is. Okay, this is what I want to show you. Let me get it loaded up. It irritates me, man. Let me show this to you. See if y'all can read this. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me know. Let me know if you can see this. I'm going to read it to those that cannot. I think you guys can see that. Okay. And let me read this to you. Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy on Dak Prescott. Number one, the system's built on making the quarterback successful. That's the way I learned it 30 plus years ago. So everything we do is built into that. Obviously, the starting point of making a quarterback successful is running the football. So we can start right there. Say we need to get more production out of the run game. Increase the action pass opportunities. Then from that, take it to the next step, and that's the pass protection, obviously the pass perimeter. It's all about making him successful. If anything, I would guard against asking him to feel like he has to do more than he's already doing. He just needs to really focus in on playing quarterback. He's a great worker. He's super diligent, and we'll get to where we need to go. First of all, Coach McCarthy, he says again, the number one, the system's built. His system is built on making the quarterback successful. Ladies and gentlemen, it has to get to a point where somebody got to say it. Like, you have mistaken identity. You do. Because, you know, if your quarterback, you know, there's an old thing and some people get offended about it. It's called the eye test. The eye test. The eye. And you know it when you see it. You know it when you see it. Like, oh yeah, he's a problem. He can hurt you for real. And then you got to have enough to say, go against the grain and say, when people say this person is great, you got to have, you know, your conviction to say, well, he's good, but he ain't all that now. That's where you have to start being truthful. And to say that he, you know, is, and I get it because you done paid, you know, him the money. I get it. That's the way it's supposed to be. But just because that's the way it's supposed to be, that doesn't mean that's the way that it really is. No, Dak don't need to be throwing the ball 48 times a game. No, sir. That Dak don't need that. It's mistaken identity. If you want it, you know, is your strongest suit, is it the offensive line? Is it your running back? I mean, what is it? Being number one, the system is built on him, ain't getting you nowhere. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just calling it like it is. And Dak's play this year has showed you that's not the way that it's supposed to be. Just the truth. Dak is not playing well. Dak is nowhere near playing well. Dak is really struggling. You know, he's not seeing the field well. And it is a shame that, you know, a person like me who has defended them for years, you know, this year, you know, and being fair to Dak, to me, you know, what is he really working with? I mean, everybody say we don't have a running game, so if you don't have a running game, it becomes one-dimensional, right? What NFL team you know don't let a man beat them one-dimensional? Huh? I mean, no, I'm just calling it like it is. He's not playing well. Still got plenty of time to go, but see, Dak is in a position, man. You know, I hate to say this. Oh, I hate to say this because I'm finna start another whole argument, but it's a perfect analogy. To me, it's a perfect analogy. Okay, listen, I'm gonna say this, y'all. Let me get out of this. See, y'all. See, I already know how y'all for that. I know how you about that. Let me say this. Don't listen. Listen, before I say it now, I'm using this as an analogy because it's gonna make sense. Okay? And once I say it, you're gonna see what I'm saying. I ain't say you have to agree. I'm just saying it makes sense what I'm saying. I'm not bringing this up to start a turmoil at all. But listen to what I got to say, okay? I just thought about it in my head. See, the way this year here is going, you guys look at Dak Prescott the way that some of y'all look at Kamala Harris. Okay? Notice the analogy, please. Don't do it. I'm not trying to get into the chat, have a debate, and don't ask me about it, all that. I'm just saying, listen to the analogy. Um, Kamala Harris. Kamala is incredibly educated, more than qualified, but she has to be perfect. While the person that she's running against, he don't have to be perfect at all. He can do what he doing now, just say anything, whether it's offensive or not, and he gets to get away with it. Kamala has to be perfect. Kamala has to, and I'm saying that because Dak has to be perfect. She don't get a pass. Kamala does not get a pass to say the things that Donald Trump says, or isn't, or what he's doing. All he's doing now, he's closing up. And let me say this. You know, he's doing things brilliantly based off what brought him to the dance. I had to, Shane, because Dak has to be perfect in order for us to win. He can't afford to be the Clark Kent. He ain't got no running game. He ain't got no defense. Look, Dak has no running game. He has no defense. They last in the league. He only got one receiver, and they trying to take him out the game. Dak Prescott and then the Tolbert, Brooks, Jay Ferguson. They have to be, they got to get some separation. You see what I'm saying? And Dak has to be perfect. Dak has to be perfect in order for us to really even have a chance. And that's why I said there's a similarity there, because she can't, and she's not perfect by no means. Kamala Harris is not perfect at all. But compared to Trump, she has to be perfect. While Donald Trump can do anything. And there's no penalty. I'm just saying, Jerry Jones and Trump is the analogy to Jerry Jones. You can do anything and come out and say anything, and you get to run, and you didn't really hide. You just come out here, keep talking on 105.3 The Fan, and just messing stuff up even more. I'm just saying. I knew y'all were gonna eat it up and try to make it political. And I guess that's my fault because I threw in, those two names. But I'm just saying, here's the bottom line. This is what I'm saying. He has to be perfect. Can we all agree on that? In order for the Cowboys to win, he ain't getting no help nowhere else. Can we all agree on that? If the Cowboys are going to win, Dak Prescott has to be Superman. And this year, he has to be Superman. Can we all agree on that? Can we all agree on that? In order for the Cowboys to win, if the Cowboys are going to win, Dak Prescott has to be Superman, Batman, Aquaman, The Flash, Green Lantern. He has to be all of that. With all the injuries everywhere, Dak Prescott has to do that. And when he doesn't do that, or he's normal, he gets killed. Which leads to this question. And this is where honesty comes into play. You got to be honest now. And I'm one that said Dak Prescott deserved his money. I mean, everybody else got theirs. He's supposed to get his. Okay. Okay. But here's the question. And this goes back to stuff I've been saying all the time. Watch this. He has to be Superman. See, y'all ain't ready for this conversation. But see, it's going to require you to be honest. As a Cowboy fan, and most of y'all in here, I already know most of y'all are Cowboy fans. Here's my question. I just said that he has to be Superman. But here's the question. Is Superman really in him? See, right now, I'm getting myself in trouble today. Ooh-wee. Ooh, I'm getting myself in trouble today. See, I know he has moments, y'all. Dak has had some Superman moments, but has he been consistent with it? I mean, I understand the year that he had last year. I get it. I mean, I'm just, you know, he's a real good quarterback in my view. I believe he deserved every dime because everybody else got theirs. So can't change the rules up when it's Dak Prescott. So I believe he's supposed to get his money. I believe that he can affect the game. We have seen him, have Superman type moments, but it's few and far between, to be honest with you. And this is what is going to have to be required for this season. And I don't know if that's really in him. No, Joe. Joe said, I have to admit that Dak is playing bad this year. I already said that. Something is off with him. No, maybe ain't something off with him. Maybe he just can't read the field. Maybe he's not reading the field reading the field like he did last year. Now, why is that? Maybe he sped up a little bit because you got offensive linemen. Forget Guyton and BB. At some point, we got to say 4 of our 5 linemen are getting their butts kicked every week. And that includes Zach Martin. Zach Martin is getting his butt kicked. Terrence Steele definitely getting his butt kicked. Tyler Guyton is somewhat decent. I mean, at some point we gotta tell the truth. Like, maybe Dak getting beat like that because he ain't got no time. Like, people not getting open. He's all, people in his face. We gotta. James Garrett said it's the wide receivers not separated. That may be partially true, but at the same time, James, start at square one. What you just said, I believe is right as well. But if you ain't got no time, you ain't gonna have nothing. So even when we say he's not being Superman, or he has to be, well, he can only be a Superman as far as the line will take him. James, you come up with another good point. Say it's the lack of the running game. Is it the lack? Okay, but let's go deeper, James. Good stuff. Good stuff, James. James says it's the lack of the running game. Okay. My question is, why is it lack then? Why is it lack? And my argument is saying that's why when I showed you what Mike McCarthy said about it starts with the running game, man, I'm so sick of hearing Mike McCarthy say that. How about you just call running plays? How about that? How about that, James? Maybe it's because you just don't call running plays at least. Oh, James, I can't go with you on that last one now. You saying CeeDee Lamb is a possession receiver. He got way too many catches last year, way too many yards, and as bad as he's being perceived. I think he's fourth or fifth, I believe, in the league in yardage already. And he's just not getting his feet under him. I can't agree with that about CD. I'm sorry. I can't do that. Yeah, because you're right. You say he's had multiple weapons, multiple offensive lines. A lot of them are all pros. I agree. Multiple running backs. He had great teams and always failed to perform in the playoffs. Yeah, but we haven't seen them look like this. And the reason why we're seeing them like this, E-Kush, is because of all the stuff you said he had. He don't have that right now. So when you don't have that, you can flush down the toilet talking about 12-5 and 12-5 and 12-5 and all that. You can forget that because it's not here now. It's not. Even when we had Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott as a running backs, we weren't dead last in the NFL and running. We were begging for them to run in. We weren't dead last like this. We last in every offensive category that it is. Last. When have you heard the Cowboys been last on offense? Come on now. Usually we're in the top 2 or 3. It's cause exactly what E could said, but it's the opposite. He had it, and when he had it, he was winning you double-digit games every year. All right, my brother Leon here. What's up? I'm serious, y'all. I'm serious. He did have it, E-Kush, but he don't have it now. And when you don't have it, is it really him have to be Superman, or is it simply you just can't run the race without the horses? I mean, we don't have nothing. Seriously. Well, put it this way. As far as the running game goes, I really don't know what we have. Because Mike McCarthy don't run it. I don't know how great Rico could be, or he may not be, because he don't give it to him enough. All I got is one game that we can say, okay, when Rico get the ball here, he looked pretty good. That was against Pittsburgh, of course. But other than that, we don't know nothing about our running game this year. We don't know. And so that's why I was saying, and stand by my statement, that if you don't have an offensive line that's good, if you don't have individual offensive linemen that's working real good, if you don't have, as James said, we don't have none but possession receivers, okay, and then if you don't have a defense, then I'm standing by my statement that the only way that you really gonna win is unless your quarterback has to be super special. He has to be super special. And the truth of the matter is, you can't really, I know y'all gonna say it, yeah, well, you can blame some of these interceptions on him. But, I believe Dak just trying to make a play. Because there ain't no plays coming nowhere else. He has to be Superman. And I just don't think he's really in him. I don't. Not on the level that needs to get it done. See, I done seen some quarterbacks who didn't have what they had, what they needed. And, as a guy that's going to be walking into the Hall of Fame, they're going to build another whole wing for him. And that's Mr. Brady. And Lord knows he ain't had no receivers never, except 1 or 2 years. Tom Brady lived off a tight end and a 2 tight end set. That's all he lived off of. And a good running back. He never had, other than Randy Moss, he ain't nobody. He didn't have anybody. So it makes you wonder, You know, everybody trying to cross their fingers thinking the Cowboys gonna do something. I can help you out. Stop hoping. Cowboys ain't doing nothing. See, the bigger picture is, and I've said this before, but it just bears repeating. When you look at what the Cowboys have in this offseason, and you know how much they value the draft, and the more you lose, the higher your pick is. So when you hear that, and right now the Cowboys are 3-4, they definitely don't have the worst record in the league, but they're at the bottom half. So if the playoffs started now, the Cowboys would probably draft somewhere between 14 maybe, 14 and 16 maybe, if not a little further up. But you know, somebody in that building in Cowboy land, somebody in that building is starting to see something going on right here. They see the schedule just like we do. They know who the Cowboys are playing. They know they don't have a real chance. We're not even favored in no game except the Giant game, if I'm not mistaken. That's at Thanksgiving. We're not favored to win no game. See? So when you hear that and you know that we have draft picks, I think with the compensatory picks, I think we got 11 picks. It's either 10 or 11 for this year's draft coming up. And you think the Cowboys, the worst record they get, let's just say, for instance, the Cowboys end up having the 7th pick in the draft. And they're in the top 10. King Chase says right now, if we was to end, we'll be drafting at 13. Well, if the Cowboys, only win 5 or 6 games this year, they're going to be drafting in the top 10. You don't think they wouldn't get excited about that? They love the draft. See, it make you wonder, is this stuff really on purpose? Because there's no way in the world, now they ain't going to admit this because they ain't going to put it out there, but there's no way in the world they think this roster can win anything. There's no way. They know it. They ain't trying to do nothing about it. Nothing. Huh? Okay. You gotta start looking at this stuff. Like, okay, why aren't they doing anything? Why aren't they, all they doing is calling them practice squad players. Trade deadline. Okay, why aren't they even picking up the phone? Why are they doing this? This is what you gotta ask. And you gotta use your common sense, because they're not gonna tell you, yeah, we're tanking. They ain't gonna never tell you that. They ain't gonna tell you that. You gotta watch the actions rather than listening to the words. The action show, they just saying, hey, Coach McCarthy, gonna just whoever we grab out here, just take them on and try to fix it. Okay? You gotta start calling it like you see it. And what I'm saying is that we don't want to win nothing. That's why I can't get hype about tomorrow. I can't get hype. Why would I get hype? I'm even saying the same thing. I got a coach who's on who's doing interviews saying that this system is designed for a quarterback. Well, you need to start designing for a running back too. It's called adjustments. That's what it's called. In-game adjustments. Yeah. Huh? You can't tell me that. So what he's saying is we're going to continue to throw this football. That's what he was saying. Can't keep doing this. And then expect the fan base to have any type of enthusiasm at all. Like, I'm really worried tomorrow. I'm really worried that the Cowboys are going to get blown completely out of the water tomorrow. And then we'll have 3 separate games with 3 major blow-ups. It's sad, yo. It's sad. So, look, I don't have much. I'm gonna let you guys close the show out. Go ahead and put the score in. Let me see where y'all headed. Give me the go on, type it in. Go on, let's go on, raise it up. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Let's see what you guys are thinking. What is your score tomorrow and who will win? Who will win tomorrow? Let me throw up a scenario too. I throw this up before. Now y'all work with me right here. Y'all work with me. Listen to this. Listen. You don't have to agree, but just listen. Okay. Y'all do realize Bland contract is coming up. Y'all put the score in. I see you, Joe. Joe says Dallas 35, Falcons 25. 44-10. King Chase says Falcons. Let me throw this scenario up while y'all putting scores in. Bland's contract goes out. Ron Bland's contract goes out this year, right? His rookie deal is over. Let's just say, for instance, that the Cowboys only win 5 or 6 games. And that would put them, Marlon, my friend, 27-24. Let's just put it there. Let's just say the Cowboys win 5 or 6 games this year. That will put them obviously in the top 10 of the draft. Bland's contract goes out. And he's pretty much going to want to get paid. And Bland has outproduced his rookie deal, obviously. Right? I think everybody will agree with that, but if you don't agree, you ain't been watching football. So Bland has outplayed his contract. And which means Bland is going to want some money. He may not want to be the highest paid cornerback in the league, but he's going to want to be, up there, respected. Okay? There is a cornerback that's going to go in the top 10 of the draft this year. He is in Colorado. He's possibly going to win the Heisman Trophy this year. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's Travis Hunter. Y'all already know where I'm going, right? What if your top 10 pick there? What if you got the opportunity to pick him up in the draft? Mr. Travis Hunter. What are you gonna do? You're not gonna pay Bland. And the only reason why I'm saying that, because I can actually see that. I can see the Cowboys packaging the deal since they got 10 or 11 picks. I can see them actually making a deal. I'm just saying. Why not make a splash? Why not go get the best player in the country? If you close, like let's just say, for instance, he's projected to go 6 or 5 or 6, and then you're sitting there at 7 or 8. I mean, why not make the attempt to go get him if that's really who you like? I'm just saying. I can see the handwriting on the wall. It don't look good. And every week they had these mysterious cuts where guys don't come in to play. Guys are healthy scratches. All of that type of stuff. And I'm saying, like, good Lord. I mean, like, I mean, who is flying down to Atlanta? Who next? Like, I don't expect Diggs to play tomorrow. I'm trying to figure out who are my starting cornerback. I'm serious. Who's the starting cornerback? And please, somebody don't say, well, they're gonna put Jordan Lewis outside. That ain't what they want. Jordan Lewis is most effective in the slot. So, and then of course he's very short compared to some of the, especially when you start talking about like somebody like Drake London, who we'll see tomorrow. Mooney. These guys are pretty tall. And I'm trying to figure out who is it? I don't even know who it, 27, Carson, maybe. I know Carson is probably back. Maybe it's 27 again. I don't know. I don't know. I really seriously. And when you start talking about that, this is the wrong team to be experimenting with. I'm serious. This is the wrong team. So and what about this, y'all? And I'll be done. What about this? Appreciate all y'all that hang with me. Let me ask y'all this question. Can Mike McCarthy afford another blowout? Everybody got him fired, at the end of the year. I was one of the ones that he may not make it through the bye week. I said that. I mean, you got to really think about this thing. Like, is he? I don't see too much light at the end of the tunnel, y'all. It's hard to be optimistic and be a Cowboy fan. I mean, I'm really starting to wonder, like, if he gets ripped apart, like he got ripped apart against Detroit and earlier, so he do this every year. I'm starting to wonder. It's hard to be optimistic. I'm sorry. I don't see it. I don't see the hope. I don't see it. I don't see it. I'll let the fan base hold on to hope. I can't. I can't get with it. Trying hard. Yeah, he's a walking dead man, Chris. That's what he is. It's just unbelievable. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. I might do be looking for me at halftime or a post game show. All right, tomorrow I'll do that. Either I'll do a halftime show or I'll do a post game show tomorrow afternoon after the game. I'll do that. All right. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging with me. What Shane say right here? Shane says, I never want the Cowboys to lose, but if they get embarrassed tomorrow, my prediction may come true. I said at the beginning of the season, he would get fired after the Falcons game. He did, Shane. I remember that. And Shane ain't lying. He did say that. I had said that was going to be like if we had lost to Pittsburgh after getting destroyed, lost to Pittsburgh and then get cracked by the Lions and then meet right in between there and then have to play Detroit, of course, and then San Francisco. I thought for sure that he wasn't going to make it to the bye week. That's what I thought. I thought he wasn't gonna make it to the bye week. But the thing that saved him was the Pittsburgh game. That's what saved him. Did. Really did. All right, Chris, I see you. I appreciate you guys. Listen, look for me tomorrow. Turn on the notifications. I will be with you guys probably at halftime, so you know that's going to be a very quick show. Just talking about what we done seen so far. And then I'll probably do a post-game show at some point. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I got a lot to do tomorrow. I have to speak in the morning too. And I'm a little tired. I have to speak in the morning, then I gotta go back and all that. So it's really be crazy. Yeah. Thank you, Revelation journalist. Yeah. It's starting to look that way. I can't even laugh. It's starting to look that way. It really is. It's starting to look real janky. For the Cowboys. You better figure something out real quick. 3-5, you just about put a fork in it. Especially the way the Washington Commanders are playing. You know, especially the way they playing. They getting, you know, they gonna subject to win the whole thing with miracles like that. All right, I'm done. Appreciate you guys hanging with me. We'll see you tomorrow at some point. This has been the one and only. I'm back, y'all. The big time show.